The video that you're about to see is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say in this video is alleged. Hey everybody, welcome to Divinity Beyond Divine. We are back with another episode. Thank you for watching me. I am your psychic tarot reader slash numerologist slash astrologist. I also read life charts. If you want a reading from me, readings are $45. And thus, if you want it personally, this Thursday, I'm doing free readings. So if you want a reading, please tune in Thursday afternoon, and that's where I'll be doing live real readings. You know, you don't have to reveal yourself. You don't have to say your name. If you want to call me live, you can. If you just want to do it, through the live stream, you can, and you can just do it from there. You don't have to tell yourself, just ask me questions, and we'll read it through the screen. But those are free. But if you want it personal, it's going to be $45. Okay? So welcome to my channel. So today, what is this, y'all? This is the gossip. This is where we talk about all the things of the world, the celebrities, from this and that to politics. And at the end of the video, we go metaphysical and we get into our tarot reading, which today we're going to be talking about B. Simone. Now, B. Simone has been very controversial this past week. And I haven't done any readings on B. Simone, but I have told y'all how I felt about her in some of my videos, if you paid attention. But anyways, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say in this video is alleged. Wink, wink. Y'all know how we do here. Let's get into the gossip, y'all. So the first thing that we got to talk about, y'all, is this heat. Because this heat is finally arrived. I got my fan on right now blowing because it is so freaking hot at this moment. I was like, Spirit, what happened to the cold? What you said it was supposed to be cold all this year. Yeah, it's just getting crazy. Wait for the rain, y'all. Y'all know nothing. See, me and Spirit, we be talking. And what y'all don't know about the rain that's fit to come. Because there's going to be some floods in certain states and cities. So look out for that. But anyways, I'm over myself when it comes to that. Let's talk about, the first celebrity we're going to talk about is Cardi B. So about goddamn time. Cardi B finally got her new album out. She finally got her second album. We've been waiting for this album for years, Cardi B. About freaking time. She's in love with her new boo. Everybody need love. And Cardi B, she's a Libra, so she can't she got to have somebody. She got to have that balance in her life. That's the Libras. So finally, she has arrived. So let's see how good this music is. I haven't heard it. We're going to hear it pretty soon. And speaking of Cardi B, Offset, I'm going to need you to leave that girl alone. And y'all know who I'm talking about when I say that girl. You need to leave Sabrina Carpenter alone. Offset. I'm just saying. There's an old saying, and I don't go by this old saying. I love everybody, but there's an old saying, and if some of y'all know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm referring. There's an old saying: if they can't use your comb, don't bring them home. And that's all I gotta say for you, Offset. Anyways, moving on from that. Speaking of Cardi B, Cowboy Carter tour. Cardi B was at the Cowboy Carter tour, y'all, and she was with, her and Kelly Rowland was in the stands. They was dancing because, everybody, the girls love Cardi B. The girls love Cardi B. She that girl. And so she was getting down with, Kelly Rowland and, Mama Tina and everybody. She came to support. And speaking of Beyonce, she done bought Miley Cyrus out there. Jay-Z done came out there. What the hell?
Give it up for Jigga Man.
Didn't I tell y'all Jay-Z was gonna be on Act 2? Let me remind y'all. And the final outcome I get, Jay-Z. Jay-Z is gonna be on Act 2. Yeah, I knew I said it. I didn't know why he was there, but Spirit, you know, and I did this way in advance. Y'all look at the year, the timeline when I posted that video. But yeah, Jay-Z was there at the tour. Now I don't know what the hell he decided to come out, but I ain't gonna lie, it kind of looked awkward, you know, because you look at Beyonce and Mama looked tired. Mama was just like, you know. And he threw some shade at Kanye. We all seen that, right? We seen that. He threw the shade. We didn't know what it was about, but well, we knew. It's for the people in the back that don't know, but we knew, you know. And then Nicki Minaj came out, and she was saying that, you know, and Nicki knows she watched my videos because, you know, me and Nicki talk low key. Yeah, we talk. I feed her some information, but yeah, Jay-Z decides to come out. I wonder why, Jay-Z. Was it because this is the biggest crowd ever since Beyonce done been on tour, and you decide to show out and act like you the headliner, like you the one that made this possible? Sit your ass down, Jay-Z. Sit your ass down. You didn't even have to come out. Well, you wasn't needed. You weren't really needed, to be honest with you. But he came out, and then he did Niggas in Paris, and everybody went crazy. You know, he basically reminded us of saying, I'm that nigga. You know. But anyways, I'm over myself. But yeah, he did that. Speaking of Beyonce, have you heard about the natives, y'all? Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, everybody. Did y'all hear about the natives?
Beyonce, what the We're the enemy? We come to your country to bother y'all? We're not the ones that jumped on some ships and crossed the whole ocean to go kidnap y'all and bring you back in chains. That wasn't us. We're not the ones that slaved y'all out for 400 years. We were the ones standing next to you while they were slaving y'all out. That was the most tone deaf that I've ever seen from a celebrity, especially somebody like you. But I'm glad that now we see you for who you really are, and we see everything for what it really is. You said what you said, you did what you did, now stand on that shit.
To all the natives talking about Beyonce and the Buffalo Soldiers, shut the fuck up. Tell the whole damn truth. You enslaved us. That's why the Buffalo Soldiers had no problems eradicating your asses. Tell the whole damn truth. Excuse me, the Buffalo Soldiers was born in 1866, and the Cherokee did not actually free their slaves until 1863. You think 3 years is enough time for me to forgive you? Even after Django was freed, do you know Django still took that money? Like many people did. You give us the option to take down people who enslaved us, we'll have no problem with it. Even the people who didn't enslave us, like the freaking Creek Indians, they would turn us in to slave catchers. So you got what the hell you deserved. Don't cry. Don't deflect. The moment you freaking deflect, you just make me that much angrier. As someone who's a direct descendant of people who were actually enslaved by the damn Choctaw. Off.
So I didn't know if I wanted to talk about this shirt that Beyonce wore about the Buffalo Soldiers and this concerning paragraph in the shirt. There are already great videos from Black creators, other Indigenous creators, Afro-Indigenous creators talking about this, giving their analysis and their critique on it. I highly recommend you guys go look for those videos and watch it. I guess I wanted to also give my input as an Indigenous person. This quote, "Their antagonists were the enemies of peace, order, and settlement, warring Indians, bandits, cattle thieves, gunmen, bootleggers, trespassers, and Mexican revolutionaries," isn't only extremely outdated, but this is straight from US imperialist propaganda. That language justified genocide, land theft, and violent expansion. And this isn't the first time that Beyonce has leaned into American nationalism in her art either. We literally talked about this, a month ago, a couple of months ago? I don't know. Time is weird. She is a multimillionaire. Her and her family are extremely wealthy and privileged. They are not affected by current American policies. They are not affected by the current political climate. And she and her family have not spoken up at all about what is going on because it doesn't matter to them. This is not liberation. This is not honoring history. This is alignment with empire. We can acknowledge the history of the Buffalo Soldiers. We can acknowledge that they are a part of Black American history. And they were also used by the US military to carry out violence against Indigenous people. We can also acknowledge that the Buffalo Soldiers were also victims of the US empire, fighting, sacrificing their lives for a imperialist government, being separated from their families, facing racism and discrimination from their white counterparts. The point of learning history, of learning these historical figures, isn't to glorify them. The point of learning about the past is that so we don't repeat it in the future. We learn about what our ancestors did, what they have gone through, the sacrifices they had to make in order to survive the systems that they were living in order to understand the systems that we currently live in today, and what we can do to make sure that doesn't happen again. Whether from the Buffalo Soldiers or the 5 indigenous tribes that aligned with the Confederacy during the Civil War and practiced slavery, we learned that marginalized communities were pitted against each other in the name of US imperialism. Being oppressed by the state does not erase the harm committed while serving that same state. Lateral violence is very real, and we do it to each other, either not by our choice, either we're forced to do it, or we do it willingly. Like, what the is it with people trying to bring up the 5 indigenous tribes, 5 out of hundreds and thousands that did things like practice slavery and aligned with the Confederacy? Okay, so that justifies the genocide of indigenous people? Like, what are we doing here? This is not analyzing history. This is not taking critique. This is just, again, doing the work of the US empire. Native people were labeled as enemies of peace for trying to defend their homelands. This language still persists today in how resistance is vilified, both here in Turtle Island and in Palestine. We have to hold space for these uncomfortable truths. We can honor the courage and resilience of our ancestors while refusing to glorify the imperial missions they were sent on. We must name the ways that oppressed people have been pitted against each other by the US empire, both then and now, and reject narratives that erase the complexity of our shared histories.
My thoughts on Beyonce and the Buffalo Soldiers, really the Buffalo Soldiers. I don't believe that the indigenous people have a foundation to stand on with being angry at the Buffalo Soldiers, when in fact it was the indigenous who betray Black Americans not once, not twice, but multiple times prior to the Buffalo Soldiers. And they betray Black Americans to align with white colonialism and white supremacy and oppression. That's what they aligned with. Now I can go all the way back to 1526, when around in the area where I live, okay, some indigenous came in contact with African enslaved that were brought here by the Spanish. Okay, that was in 1526. And the enslaved African people set fire, which is why it never took. The settlement never took. Okay, and then they went off to live with the indigenous. Okay, and back then there was no blood quantum. Okay, I know a lot of indigenous today like to talk about blood quantum, but back then there was no blood quantum, and this is another way of betrayal when it comes to indigenous and Black Americans, because back then, and most indigenous should know this, they did not decide who was in their tribes based off of blood quantum. That wasn't a thing. So African enslaved went and escaped to this is way back in the 1500s, to Native American tribes, and became a part of the Native American tribes and fought alongside and lived with and intermarried with. Okay, and this is why you may see a 1% or 2% in some people. Okay, now since we want to talk about the blood quantum now, but they were just as included in the indigenous tribes as any other quote unquote blood indigenous, because that the blood quantum, that was not a rule to be a part of a tribe. It was just not a rule. Simple as that. Not until the Europeans came. So that's one betrayal, because at that blood quantum stuff or whatever, okay, even though it happened way after, they started trying to take away land and take away rights, tribal rights and everything from Black Americans. Now, let's get on back to the 1700s. The white people convinced the 5 civilized tribes, and y'all know those names, the 5 civilized tribes, to enslave Black people for their benefit. So yeah, that was a deal they made with Europeans. Again, another betrayal. And that's documented right now. That's documented, well documented what happened. Instead of aligning with those Black Americans who stood with them, they decided we're going to align with the oppression of the Black people who stood with us, okay? And who we adopted in our tribes for centuries. And so now we're up to the Civil War. And this is where we run into the Buffalo Soldier, okay? This is where we're going to run into the Buffalo Soldiers who were doing their job. Okay. Now at this point, tribes had already started their slavery with people who against Black Americans who were supposed to have been their allies all this time. They were starting to strip land, strip freedoms from them, and everything else. Okay, just so they could align with who? All this stuff had already happened for centuries. And now here's the Buffalo Soldiers in the 1800s. The indigenous had already cut ties with Black America. But see, here's what the indigenous did not know, was that that's how white folks move. They tricked y'all. They tricked y'all. So while the indigenous were cutting ties with Black Americans left and right, and doing all this other stuff, the white folks already knew they wanted to take y'all land from y'all. And some of the strongest and fiercest fighters here are Black Americans, the Buffalo Soldiers, and they were already enlisted in the military. They were doing their job. It wasn't because they hated anybody. They was doing their job.
Yeah, they coming after Beyonce. Now look, let me tell y'all natives one goddamn thing. Why y'all didn't keep that same energy for January 6th? Why y'all didn't keep that same energy when George Floyd got killed? Y'all easily get pinpoint Beyonce, but y'all can't never talk about any other shit. What's up with that? After all the stuff they did to y'all, stole your land, stole your property, killed Pocahontas and all this stuff, but y'all go come after Queen Bee? No, I need y'all to sit y'all asses down, okay? Y'all native people need to just shut up. After what Trump just did when he came out and y'all ain't saying nothing? No, shut up. I don't even want to get into what I really want to say with y'all. But it was true, because the Buffalo Soldiers, y'all didn't have our fucking back. And that's all I'm just saying. Y'all need to do some research on that, because, yeah, it's deep. It's deep.
African American military men, known as Buffalo Soldiers, played a significant role in the story of the American frontier and United States Western expansion. These men filled the ranks of two black regiments, the 9th and 10th Cavalries. Black soldiers forming the 24th and 25th Infantries were also sometimes called Buffalo Soldiers. The black cavalry and infantry regiments were authorized by an 1866 law, which required them to be under the leadership of white officers. The regiments were based primarily on the frontier in the states and territories of the Plains and the Southwest. The regiment's main objectives were to protect travel routes and to control American Indian populations. In 30 years of service on the frontier, Buffalo Soldiers were involved in almost 200 major and minor engagements. The Buffalo Soldiers exhibited great courage and discipline, and their regiments had the lowest percentage of desertion and court-martial among the U.S. Army. The men of these regiments received their Buffalo Soldier nickname from the Plains Indians. There are many theories about its meaning, but it is generally believed to have been a sign of respect, as Native Americans revered the buffalo and the Buffalo Soldiers had proven themselves to be worthy opponents. Buffalo Soldiers also played a strong role in another fixture of the frontier, the National Park System. Buffalo Soldiers served as some of the first park rangers in the western United States. At the end of the 1800s and beginning of the 1900s, the U.S. Army was the official administrator of national parks such as Yosemite and Sequoia. About 500 Buffalo Soldiers were stationed in these two parks during this time. They brought law and order to the wilderness lands, protecting the park's animals and trees from thieves and forest fires. Throughout their tenure, Buffalo Soldiers also participated in the Spanish-American War, the Philippine-American War, and the 1916 Army expedition to capture Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa.
And some of y'all natives, because what y'all don't understand, a lot of us black African people, or you can call us Americans because we was born here too, we have that in our blood too, that the white man tried to genocide and tried to tell you guys that we didn't have in us. We ain't all black, as you can see. I got high cheekbones. I have Cherokee in my blood. We ain't all the same. Just to let you know. Just to let you know. Educate y'all. Anyways, I'm moving on from that. Let's move on from that. Now, you know what? Let's get into what we came to talk about. Oh yeah. Hold up. I forgot. The Brandy and Monica tour. Y'all going to the Brandy and Monica tour? I'm going. I don't know how. I don't know when, but I'm gonna find a way. I'm probably gonna go to the Houston tour. That's where I want to go. I'm probably gonna go to the Houston tour because I feel like that give me enough time to stack up my bread, save up money, do what I gotta do. And I got some other few friends that want to go. We can plot, figure something out. I know my girl Chastity want to go, and we go try to figure this out. But y'all, it's gonna be live, and the energy is good. The camaraderie and chemistry is there. Have you seen Brandy and Monica lately? Yeah, they cool now. They real cool.
This is such a trick question.
I know I just put that out there on you on camera, which is unprofessional, but
For some odd reason, people don't understand they can like and love us both.
hey everybody, I'm Brandy.
And I'm Monica.
And we are spilling
The ET.
Come on, somebody. All right, so let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
We actually didn't meet yet before we recorded The Boy Is Mine. So what's your initial reaction when you got the call to do the song? Did you like the song?
This is such a trick question. I was a little bit concerned
About the song?
about somebody believing that there was actually a real boy.
Right.
Because I'm like, I don't want people to think
That we're actually
this was-
fighting over-
Yes. Other than that, I thought the song was phenomenal.
I don't think anybody else could have brought what you brought to the song. We won our first Grammy for The Boy Is Mine in 1999.
So what did you think when Ariana Grande reached out to us? What was your very first reaction?
I felt so, because I'm a fan of Ariana, and I just felt so like honored and humbled by that. You know, that she wanted to include us, that she wanted to like almost reimagine The Boy Is Mine, and it just let me know how impactful it was and how many people it inspired.
It was very respectful. I like that she kept the integrity of the song.
I was a little nervous because I'm like, you and Ariana on the same song. Like, I just wanted to bring it. It was a moment. It was a moment. So shout out to Ariana.
Well, I really like this question because I have an affection for your daughter is beautiful and she's sweet. Her and Erica Campbell's daughter, Krista, did their own version. How did you feel when you saw their version? Because I instantly was just like reposting it.
I know, they were more excited about you reposting it than anything. Like, I was so proud of them. I loved their version. It was Wicked themed. See, I try to hesitate. I just love that my daughter appreciates who we are and what we've been able to do, and loves music and appreciates music. You know, it's nothing better than that. Her passion is just, it's there. There was a time where Sarad didn't really know my music. She was just, because I wasn't active all the time out with music. And so there was a time where I didn't feel like she knew my music. And then that day when she came to me and told me how much I inspired her and my music taught her this and that, that felt amazing.
You ready? I've been ready.
This announcement's been more than 25 years in the making. The two divas hitting the road together for the first time, co-headlining the Boy Is Mine tour. They'll hit 24 cities starting October 16th through December 7th.
Do you think now would be a good time for us to create more music, or should we leave the legacy as is?
Absolutely not. We need to create more music and capitalize on this moment. Like, I want to go to Vegas and do the residency after the tour. I'm thinking ahead. I know I just put that out there on you on camera, which is unprofessional, but our management is over here to the left and right. Make that happen, y'all. Residency after the tour.
Well, my family loves Vegas.
Really?
They do.
Well, that helps because you're not doing nothing without your family.
You already know.
Will fans get to hear, any of your upcoming country music on our new tour?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Why you ain't played me none of the country music? And why haven't you asked me to be a part of one of the songs?
Well, would you like to?
Absolutely.
You know who my dream duets are? Chris Stapleton. Some days we might fall apart. And Jelly Roll.
This is on camera. I want to hear that
when
country
you
music.
hear it,
and
I think you'll be shocked.
Be a part of it.
These two teamed up nearly 5 years ago for an epic versus battle that broke records. 6 million watched their 3-hour stream.
What was your first thought when we got the call to do our versus battle?
I was very anti-versus.
I know.
I was very anti-versus.
Why?
I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
It really has nothing to do with you or versus itself. My issue is that for some odd reason, people don't understand they can like and love us both. That has always confused and perplexed me to no end. Because
why do you think that is?
I have no idea why it is. I feel like we're so different that the beauty of it is that you enjoy both. You enjoy the differences of it.
Yeah.
And they don't do that with me with anyone else. You know,
they just do it with you
strictly
feel like
with
it's
you.
just with me?
I don't feel like it is.
I mean, that was the whole purpose of wanting to do The Boy Is Mine.
Hey, listen,
so
I don't
y'all
mix
can
facts
like
and
us
feelings.
both.
The facts are, anytime we're together, people consistently compare and pick things apart instead of enjoy it. And I'm a nurturing person, you know, so of all the women that I support so openly, it never happens unless it's us. And I think it's so strange because it's the best magic on wax, or it's not wax anymore. It's digital. But you know, like, so
I'm happy to be
that
from the 90s.
confused me. You know, and that was my only thing with verses, because verses, when you say the word verses, it's like she, her versus,
competition.
You know, and I
was
didn't
worried
want
about that too. I wanted it to be more of a celebration, and they definitely made an effort for it to be a celebration.
Like, who won? What? There's no winner. There's no prize. It's a celebration of said art. But it doesn't always come off that way. That's why I think the tour is going to be so incredible, because it gives them a chance to really see, like, you can love both. But maybe it helps that we now have a love for each other. Maybe that at times perpetuated the issue at hand.
It could have been that.
Could have been.
For sure.
But it's never made sense to me.
Well, I'm glad we did Versus, because I think that was the beginning of new talks about co-headlining a tour together. And that's something that I've always wanted for us.
So this is love.
You'll be returning as Cinderella for Disney's Descendants.
Oh, yeah.
Wicked Wonderland. Okay, what kind of acting role are you envisioning next? Because, you know, the fans love it. My favorite is still I Know What You Did Last Summer.
You saw that?
I saw that because I'm a horror film buff since I was a child.
I didn't have the best experience with I Know What You Did Last Summer because of the weather and all of that, but
I was taxing on the body.
yes, it was very taxing.
Got it. And you guys were outside, got
Outside,
wet, running.
and we were in a space where it was just bugs and this and that. I'm like, we could have filmed this somewhere else.
No, but it looked real, and you didn't die.
Right, that was in the contract.
Yeah.
You know, black people don't last in horror films, so I had to put that in the contract.
Well, this one did.
And I just want to tell you, the reason why I wanted to do I Know What You Did Last Summer is because I wanted to curse in a film.
Man, it's classified as
I love that it was a departure from all of the perfectness was beautiful. But
From
it was
what I
such a
had-
departure that it was
From
incredible.
the perfection. I needed to curse. Oh no. Whose boy was it?
Neither. We don't like the same type of boy or man.
Well,
Uh-uh.
well, what you working with now? Like, I'm like, hold on a minute.
Oh, Anthony is like,
Is right.
okay.
I gotta give you props on that.
Well, he was my friend for 14 years first.
Right, spill the tea. This
I
is
just
18,
wish
spill the tea.
I just wish it had happened
Spill the
sooner.
tea.
You know? Oh, he's a sweetheart. Like when he does things, yeah, he's really big on just because.
And that gives my daughter hope.
Yeah.
Not me, because I'm done with that chapter of my life.
You keep saying that.
Everybody doesn't have, you know, their soulmate. That doesn't come around for everybody. It is so cute how her voice changes when he's on FaceTime. I'm a hopeless romantic. I saw that in
So you can't give up on love and be a hopeless romantic.
I'm a hopeless romantic. Yeah, that's right.
No, we're a hopeful romantic. Okay?
Yeah.
Watch. As long as I
Oh, my
meet him
God.
first, you're gonna be all right. But you by yourself, you're too young for that. You're too beautiful for that. You're too talented for that. And you have too much love to give for that.
And that was that.
That's it.
Period.
Cheers
Yes.
to spilling the tea with E.T.
E.T. Yes.
Told y'all all our business.
You added that.
Y'all, I cannot wait. This is gonna be the tour of the year. I mean, I thought Cowboy Carter gave us a run for the money. I think it's gonna be the Brandy and Monica tour. They gonna kill it. And then we get Kelly Rowland too, and we get bonuses. And somebody was complaining, saying, why Kelly opening there for Brandy and Monica? That goes to show you how Beyonce be, she don't be supporting Kelly Rowland. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. Stop complaining. At least you getting Kelly Rowland, Brandy, and Monica at the same freaking time. Well, let's not complain, y'all. Let's not ruin this, okay? Let's keep it. Let's keep the peace. Heck, we need something in these times. But yeah. So I cannot wait, y'all. I cannot wait. This is gonna be good. Oh, and if y'all want to see the reading for Is Brandy Gonna Be in I Know What You Did Last Summer, go watch my other video that I just did. The one where I talk about Harry Styles and Normani. Watch that one because the tea is in that. So if you want to know, check that video out. And I will go see I Know What You Did Last Summer because y'all better put Brandy in it. But yeah, I did the reading already. So anyways, I'm over myself. So anyways, let's get to what we came here for, y'all. The truth what we came here for is B Simone. We need to be calling her B for real. But anyways, so people have been having issues with her because she's talking about she hates that she has to shop at H&R or H&M. That's what they call it, H&M. Well, let's take a look at these clips right quick before we dissect B Simone.
Just my finances. Like the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah.
Like I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the liquid. Yeah. I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account.
So what if they don't like you? So what if they hating on you? So what if they mad at you? So what if you ain't got no friends no more? So what if you're gifted and your friend is gifter? So what if you didn't get the audition and your friend did? Be happy. So what if you're lying down with the man who say he love you and tomorrow he's cheating on you? You decided to stay there. So what? So what? So what? We got to stop looking at the, oh, why am I in this place? And, what's happening to me and how, why people don't like and care. So what? That was your choice. You need to move on. You need to ask God for strength in this season and peace and the capacity to do his will and his way. So what? That you're broke. Go get you a job. So what that you got money? Ask God to maintain that because there are seasons where you're up and you're down. You're here and you high and you low. So what if you got some haters? So what that you're creative? So what that you're mad? So what that you're happy? We got to stop caring about the noise that continues to target you. You just got to be you and do you and walk into your destiny and walk into your purpose. And whatever good that's out there will be a magnet to you. But so what if you fly? So what? So what? That's the word of the day today is so what? Get out your head and continue to be who God called you to be.
It takes for you to come down to reality, B Simone, is one wrong post. You are one viral video away, one internet canceling away from being back at Forever 21 selling shit.
He called it.
Damn!
Who B Simone is planning to get sympathy from. And you know what's so crazy to me, Just?
Yeah.
The people are the reason that we're in the positions that we're in.
Yeah.
Like, ain't she the stand-up comic, right?
Yes, she is.
If your audience feels like they can't relate to you in no way, shape, or form, and they feel like you look down upon them because
you'll lose them.
Because exactly, like damn, B, like why did she even put that out?
Because it shouldn't be a disconnect.
No,
at all. And working hard people, like people that work hard and buy tickets, they the ones that we need. You know what I'm saying? We need them to keep buying tickets and to keep supporting us and to keep streaming our podcasts and things like that. So
working class people. So it's like, what are you willing to sacrifice now? For your future? I'm sorry you can't shop at Bloomingdale's right now, and I'm sorry H&M makes you cry.
A woman who's a 6 or a 7, like a B Simone, no insult intended, she's cute. She ain't fine, she's cute. B Simone, Jill Scott, like that in the face. All of a sudden, when the 8s, 9s, and 10s are gone, the 6s and 7s automatically get all the 8, 9, and 10 shine because the 8s, 9s, and 10s are simply gone. It's not as though those women actually got better. The other women are just gone. And when you get all of that attention, that when you saw your friends who were 8, 9, and 10, and you were 6 or 7, and they're gone, now you're getting 8, 9, and 10 attention, you feel like the woman. And you start to overinflate your SMV, your actual value. So like a B Simone, no offense, you start to actually feel like you should get a man who's the master of the universe. Especially if you're attorney or a psych chick? You got a college degree or something like that?
I'm a PhD.
Okay, congratulations.
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want him to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
So
like he can't clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn, B.
I think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic,
I'm sure, but no, you're not going to understand my lifestyle. You're not going to understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
Damn, you're making this hard for me. Okay, all right.
You know, he has to be an entrepreneur.
A business owner. He getting one of them stimulus packages from Donald Trump, one of them small business loans, and he ain't buying jewelry with it.
Or moving into that direction.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
Oh my God!
B. Simone has recently opened up about her current financial situation. The entrepreneur and media personality, who once expressed that she wouldn't date or marry anyone with a 9-to-5 job,
He can't have a 9 to 5.
shared in a recent sit-down conversation with her best friend that her lifestyle has significantly changed. She revealed that she's so broke now, she now shops at H&M instead of Bloomingdale's as part of the adjustments she's making in response to her financial reality.
Just my finances. Like, the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing. I've never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah.
Like, I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the liquid. Yeah. I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
B. Simone's biggest mistake was not being humble with her blessings. When she was at the top of her game, she forgot where the fuck she came from. She was very fleshy, very fleshy. And now, when shit turned upside down, now it's Jesus, Jesus. Cause you remember, this was you.
He can't have a 9 to 5.
What? Why not? You don't want to have an honest job?
I mean, he could be a hustling entrepreneur.
So you want him to be you want CEO status?
Yes.
Okay, he can't
So
like he can't clock in and clock out.
No.
Damn,
I
B.
think
Simone.
entrepreneurs should date entrepreneurs.
Okay, but still, there's people who have really good jobs with vocational skills. If he's a mechanic,
I'm sure, but no, you're not going to understand my lifestyle. You're not going to understand why I'm up at 3 a.m.
And now this is you?
We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah.
Like, I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the liquid. Yeah. I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account, but it's just my finances.
How quickly we forget and how quickly we have to be taught a lesson. You never forget the feeling when God got to sit you down. Hopefully she takes this lesson.
Y'all, I'm going through some old stuff and organizing. Who else bought this book back in the day? And did y'all ever use it? I'm going through it and realize, baby, I ain't never wrote nothing down. I probably didn't even, I'm wrong for that. Who else still got this? No slander, though, because I love my girl, though, still.
So y'all, I look a freaking mess because I have been in this room weeping, crying. Do you hear me? This is my meditation prayer room. It is an absolute mess, but I've ordered so much stuff off Amazon because I'm redecorating it, reconstructing it. And if y'all want to see the details of that, it's on my YouTube. I've been vlogging the whole journey, but I found my journal and my diary from 2014. It's literally the 10-year anniversary this month. My first journal entry was September 19th, 2014. I'm gonna read y'all some of this, and this is why writing and manifesting and putting it down and writing down the vision and making it plain is so important. I'm literally gonna do a whole podcast episode on this because I want to read a lot of this, but I'm gonna share a little bit with y'all. My first
Real quick before she does, I am all for manifesting and praying and trusting God and having faith up to a certain extent, because I feel like a lot of times they use that to avoid accountability. You still have to put in the work. You still have to humble yourself. You still have to have gratitude. You know, you still have to do the work to get your desires. And if you don't deserve your desires, you're not going to get your desires. So I remember when she came out with her little manifestation book and whatever, and the results of her life right now is proof that speaking about it and writing it down is not enough. That alone is not enough.
Re-entry 10 years ago. Dear God / universe. Y'all, when I write now, I say / Jesus. I don't know nothing about no universe. But this was where I was back then, okay? Don't judge me.
Whenever they hit the wall, they always turn spiritual. It's like clockwork.
September 19th, 2014. Dear God / universe. Today I woke up early. It's going to be a busy day. Marie, that's my friend Pharaoh, who I'm still friends with, is flying in from ATL, and I have to get my hair done and get some hair for her before she gets here. I was going to work today or tomorrow at Baby Dolls. That is the strip club I used to work at. I was a waitress there. But I don't have time. I have so much to do before I go to LA Sunday. I'm going to LA for my friend's birthday. I just got back from ATL. I was there for 3 weeks, and man, it was the best trip. It was so good. I'm moving there in 3 weeks. I just have to get a car because Baby Red won't make it. Baby Red was my first car, y'all. I'm about to cry. Stack is helping me look for a car, so by the time I get back from LA, I can pack it up with my clothes and just go. I want to be in ATL by Marie's birthday, which is October 4th. After I move to Atlanta, my career is gonna flourish. We are gonna shoot a few IG commercials to promote what's coming. I want to take off, and I want me and Marie's friendship to be good. I want my career to flourish. I want to be a multi-millionaire, and I want to move to ATL in 3 weeks. I want to be financially stable, and I want a new reliable car. I want me and Marie's partnership to grow rapidly. That's all for today. I'm spreading love. Think positive thoughts. Braylon Simone Greenfield. Y'all, write. Please write. If you don't follow my podcast, go follow Let's Try This Again podcast, because I'm going to do a whole episode on the journal entries in this diary, in this journal. It is mind-blowing, the stuff I was writing. Write, manifest, pray, write it down. This is mind-blowing to me. That was just the first journal entry. I just love that girl. I was 24 years old. I'm 34 now. She was so ambitious. She believed so hard. She had so much faith, and I just fight every day to still be that girl. But I know when I move to ATL, my career is going to flourish. I want to be a multi-millionaire and be financially stable. Baby, the fact that I'm living in $1 million condo right now. What? Is mind-blowing. Y'all not gonna believe the rest of these journal entries. Write. No matter how you feel, write. Every day, write.
Why is she living in $1 million condo? Like, what the hell? And we're wondering why she's now broke. Like, what? But you see, I've never gravitated to B. Simone. The only thing I liked about her was her name. She was way too loud. When she first came out, and she was, I think it was like the baby thing that she would say at like a very high pitch. I was never like a fan. And then pair it with how she would talk down. I don't know. It's just her vibe was just always too off for me. But the purpose of this video is to prove, to emphasize, to show that once again, Kevin Samuels was right. Talking about how.
Now, this is my issue, because I've never really liked the B. Simone. I hated when she came out with that baby girl. Now, the only way I knew who B. Simone was because she did Aaliyah's tribute. And I remember watching it, and I remember her saying a lot of people said she looked like her. I'm just like, I don't see the resemblance. No, you look like her makeup. You don't look like her, B. Simone. You look like her makeup. But anyways, I'm over myself. But yeah, here she come out saying, you know, like she can't date a man who ain't got a 9 to 5. You put that out there. You manifested that out there, B. Simone. Then she talked about how to manifest. You know, now that's one thing that I'm with you on. And those of you who watching, manifestation is a real thing. If you want your dreams and your, you know, wishes to come true, manifest it. That's why I do this thing all the time called candle magic. I be trying to get y'all into it. Y'all need to go watch my candle magic videos so you can understand the words of manifestation and how it really, really works. Now, B. Simone, you're not broke. You're spiritually broke. And I'm going to tell you why you're spiritually broke. Because one, and that's the thing about you Christians. Y'all Christians are lost. You don't know God. There's a verse in the Bible that says there's going to come a time where people are going to come to Jesus and Jesus is going to look at you and say, I never knew you. I never knew you. So B. Simone, you one of those. You're one of those type of Christians. You don't like to be humble, and that's your problem. You attack people spiritually. That's what you do. Matter of fact, you attack the spiritual people. Oh, you think I don't know? You don't think I know what you was talking about? The stones and the crystals? I knew you was talking about me because I cussed your ass out last time. That's why you went out and attacked us.
This is going to be controversial. This is going to be real controversial, but I don't care. I got to get this off my chest, and I got to let y'all know I cannot go into 2025 with people who are still looking forward to their daily horoscope. I can't do it. This war we fighting, I need some intercessors. Y'all over here carrying around sage? Y'all still got rose quartz. I get it. I used to have the rose quartz in my bra. Like, I'm going to find me a nigga today. Yeah, this rose quartz, this rock going to bring me my husband. I get it. I have been there. But what I'm saying is I'm not there anymore. And nothing against the people who believe in that. Just as for me and what I need in my life, I don't need a tool. I need the blood. So if you ain't covered in the blood, hey, you can't go into next year with me talking about did you read your daily microscope? I don't give a damn about what the horoscope say about Aries. What does Matthew 2 and 2 say?
Come on.
Can you pray? All them rocks, all them rocks and herbs. Do you know the Bible? Yeah. I'm leaving that in 2024. I'm leaving that in the past. If you cannot intercede on my behalf with the blood of Jesus and you do not carry the Holy Spirit, you don't carry the Holy Spirit, but you carry it around herbs. If you don't get that dust out of my face and get in that prayer corner and pray for me, I need a friend. I need an intercessor. Jesus, all them rocks.
But let me tell you something. You don't know nothing about spirituality because you're not a spiritual person. Okay? You're born on April the 5th. Oh, you think I don't read you? I read you. You're in Aries. You come from the planet Mars, the planet of war and chaos, B. Simone. So, no offense to my Aries out there. This has nothing to do with y'all. I do study numerology and I do study astrology. And B. Simone, you're number 5. That tells me you're very versatile. You can get along with anybody if you chose to or if you operate the right way. That also tells me that you're all about yourself. And you love sex a lot. Oh, you think I don't know. You don't. Let me not put all the tea about you, B. Simone. I know you. You're a sexaholic. That's why you're so driven about getting a man. And why you can't keep a man. You get annoyed easy. You get irritated easy. You don't like when people repeat themselves over and over again. But we repeating ourselves over and again to remind you of who you are. You always about me. You're never about everybody else. We just saw how you did your friend on your podcast.
Sometimes from the public perception, it's like being a best friend with a celebrity. Everybody thinks, oh, because you're connected to this person, then your life is just as grand as theirs, or you got it, or they helping you. Baby, when I tell you, didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom, All this happened to me this past year.
Jesus.
And then it's like to not have resentment in my heart towards you because I saw you do this for other people. I saw you give a check to somebody to help them through whatever they went through. And it's like, God, like, I love him. That's my soul. And I can't get nobody didn't give me a handout. But guess what? That wasn't your responsibility. God had to take me through that for my own season, for my own thing. I had to get my car repossessed.
Jesus.
I had to go through the food stamps line. I had to be on Medicaid. Sometimes.
What the hell, B. Simone? I mean, I really don't get it. Where you from? First of all, where's B. Simone from? I need to know where you from, because you kind of, you be tricking people. Dallas, Texas. You from Dallas, Texas. Wow. Makes sense. Make freaking sense. Makes a lot of sense. Now, there's nothing that you guys can tell me about this girl that is good, because this girl done been rebranding herself for so many times. I mean, every time I look around, she's rebranding her name, her brand. It's like she cannot be consistent worth anything. She's always changing. And that's the thing about number 5 people. They're always changing. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you are who you are. But B. Simone, be real. You know? I mean, it's always behind, and she be good one moment, and then it's always like a scandal, and then some hiccups that she be going through, and then next thing you know, she rebrand her freaking name. She's always male centered. It's always about a man. You can't tell me nothing about no man, B. Simone. You dated the baby, and you talking about you a Christian? Yeah, you looking very hypocritical right now, B. Simone. Always contradicting herself. And you know what? Don't tell me about the Bible. I don't want nobody to tell me about the freaking Bible, because the truth is, Christians, what that is. What you're telling me is all about colonizing. You know, because when the Bible came for, you know what it was designed for? It was designed to colonize the Native Americans. It was designed to colonize the African Americans. Because what that is, it's a tool to white supremacy. And that's what you guys fail to understand. That's what you don't know it's about. Because they're keeping you from your ancestry. They're keeping you from what you know, what your people know, to believe their system, to level up to their type of lifestyle. That's what that's about. Don't get me started, y'all. Don't get me started today. I didn't come here to preach, you know. I just came here to tell you the truth. Because what they doing to y'all is they demonizing you. They're trying to demonize your belief system. They want to talk about witchcraft and all this kind of stuff. To be honest with you, it's in the Bible. Read your book. Witchcraft came from the Bible. Just because they don't their level of yours is not the same. They want to attack you. Man, I hate Christians. Y'all be holding on to that too goddamn tight. And don't know shit about it. B. Simone is that type of girl. She's that Christian. She's that Christian that when you go to the church, she be like, ooh, girl, you see what she got on? Ooh, girl, Girl, I don't know where she got her clothes from. That's that girl. And somebody asked me the other day, well, how you don't know if she got a call in? What you mean, how do I know if she don't got a call in? What we don't, and I'm like, what we don't know is we know she that girl. That's what we know. She's that girl. That's what I do know. You know how I know that? Because she has a pattern. She's trifling. B. Simone is trifling. And there's a lot of other girls that y'all understand who are like that. That's why you can't keep a man. Oh, don't get my blood pressure up. Today, you up for reviews, B. Simone. You up for review. You don't piss a lot of people off. You up for review, girl. So the question I want to ask is, what's in front of you? What's around you? What's the energies around you, B. Simone? What's really going on with you? You overdue. Spirit, please, if you don't mind, could you please bring B. Simone spirit guides in the room to communicate with my spirit guides? Spirit, please talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. What's the energies around B. Simone? Because I know she go watch this video. Please, Father God, talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. What is the energies around B. Simone? I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to try to save your life today. Please, Father God, allow me to see and say anything and everything that you allow me to say and see. What's the energies around B. Simone? B. Simone is your love. She is your child. She is your beloved. Please, Mother, Father God, authorize me to see and say anything and everything that you authorize me to say and see. I love you guys. I love you, Jesus. Now, I know a lot of y'all be like, how you gonna talk about the Bible and you talk about Jesus and all this stuff like that? First of all, Jesus is key. Y'all need to remember that. Jesus is key. If you're gonna seek something, seek Jesus. Because Jesus is in every religion you can look at. Jesus is in Buddha. Jesus is in the Quran. Jesus is in the Mormon. Jesus is Catholic. Jesus is key. He did exist. Once you follow Jesus' pattern, and I'm not talking about the white Jesus. Don't get it twisted. That's the one that they're talking about that's the one that they say he was a murderer. The white Jesus. I'm not talking about that. Okay? I'm talking about the Ethiopian Jesus, the one that's in Africa.
What if we told you that ancient black Jesus icons depicting Jesus, the Virgin Mary, and King Solomon with dark skin have been hidden for centuries? Russia revealed these powerful icons, and they're sparking a global conversation about history, race, and religious art. These iconic images date back to the 14th century, with the first known painting of Christ found in Syria around 235 AD, showing him with dark skin and woolly hair. Fast forward to 2024, and Vladimir Putin uncovered a 16th century black Jesus icon, igniting efforts to restore and promote these remarkable pieces of art. But why is this so important? These images challenge the Western portrayal of Jesus as white, shining a light on the diversity in early Christian art. Want to know more about Putin's unveiling of the black Jesus icon? Check out the full video link in the description.
Ooh, spirit. B. Simone. What's the energies around B. Simone, spirit? Please, Father God, B. Simone is your love. She is your child. She is your beloved. Please, Father God, authorize me to see and say anything and everything that you authorize me to say and see. I love you, God. I love you, Jesus. In your name I pray. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Amen, amen, amen. So the first thing I'm getting from B. Simone is I'm getting the Zen garden. In the past, I feel like she was not Zen. She had a lot going on, but I get there was something about her trying to be Zen. Like, she's being very aware of what's going on, what people are saying. She's fully aware of her surroundings. What she knows is she's going through a change. Her money is falling. There's a big climate change that is happening. even though success is shining on her, she's feeling exposed. She's standing in her emotions, but she's protected. But what I see in the future is I feel like she's going to be healing. Her heart's going to be shining really, really bright. Even though she went through something, you see all the scars on her body. She's going to go back to her true nature. Reconnecting with her true nature. I see that for her in the future. Now, this is just the oracle cards. Now, let me tell you something, B. Simone. Because I don't hate you. You know, hate is a strong word. Maybe you are being used by God. Because everybody got to be used. If you're not, God only used people for his own plan or his purpose. So you have to be used by God. Everybody is 2 degrees of separation. So if you're in my sights, or if something drew you to Aaliyah and I end up liking Aaliyah and I end up got drawn to you, maybe that was the whole purpose. Did you think about that? Because there's something in you where your spirit resonates with Aaliyah. So it's interesting how the universe works. In the past, I feel like you wasn't patient in planning. You're doing it now, but you weren't back then. And you're aware of that. Right now, you're listening to your gut. This is what's crossing you. You're listening to what your gut is saying. You know there's a shift that's happening. You know it. And I don't know what's going on when it comes to the Aries, but I feel like a lot of Aries, y'all getting y'all asses handed to y'all. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but y'all are. For these past years, especially this year, y'all noticing there's a change. Because see, the thing about the Aries, let me tell you about the Aries. Now, I love Aries. I like Haley. Haley, that's what they call, keep on her Haley. Haley, she's an Aries. She went with DDG. If you watch my DDG videos and Haley videos, I told y'all she likes the bad boys because that's what Aries do. Aries love the bad boys, and then they end up getting their heart broken. Mariah Carey, another one. She's an Aries. She likes the bad boys. Every time you see her on the song, she got the rappers, but she's always heartbroken, getting single. It's the mindset of an Aries. Aries, they're to be honest with y'all, they are the first of the zodiac. It's not the Capricorn. We're goats. You know, the goats relate to each other. We go good together. We go hand in hand. But the thing about the Aries is they're actually first in the zodiac. In American, it's the Capricorn. But in the real zodiac, it's the Aries. So Aries are always going to be like the know-all and end-all. We know everything. You don't tell me anything. That's how the Aries mindset is. And this is what's happening to B. Simone. She thinks she's like goddess. What did I see in the future for her? She's going to be healing and going back to her true nature when it comes to her financial and material changes. And this is what she knows. So I feel like she's going to be okay. But let's see what the tarot cards say. Okay? So the focus is heartbroken. She's heartbroken. I feel like she's heartbroken when it comes to 3 people or 3 things that are hurting her. Could be her finances, could be her celebrity. I don't know why she calls herself a celebrity because I don't know you. I ain't seen none of your movies. I ain't never watched you. So how's your celebrity, girl? But anyways, you're going through it. You're going through a separation, heartbreak. Could be going through some surgery. But this is what you're going through. What's crossing her is I get judgment. Everybody is judging B. Simone. It's her karma. The problem she's standing on is she's throwing her weight around. It's the decisions that she's making. Be slow to speak and quick to listen, girl. In the past, she's very spoiled. She's very spoiled. She dances to her own beat. She don't hear what none of y'all saying. Which, that's why I love the Aries, because I don't blame you. But you got to be mindful, especially if you go use God in your language and you talking about spirituality and stuff like that, because you came hard to us. You did. Be mindful. What she knows is there's something about an invitation. All right, it's King of Knight of Cups, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer man, who probably separated from her. I think she's going through a heartbreak and she's just venting on the internet. It ain't really about she shops at H&M. I feel like it has something to do with romance, is what she knows. And she's feel like she's going to get exposed when it comes to this, which she already has. It's a waiting period. In the future, I feel like there's something about a waiting period. Could be an offer too that's waiting for her, but I don't. In her mind, I get there's something dealing with restrictions. She feel trapped in fear. She feel like everywhere she goes, she's going to get cut, and she cannot see clearly. What's around B. Simone is going to be very challenging. It's going to be very challenging for you, because what you put out there on the internet is going to stick, and that's how everybody see you now. We see the real you. What she's hoping, what her hopes and fears is, she hopes she don't become the fool. She hopes she don't become the fool. And I hate to say this, B. Simone, but your career is ended. I get the Tower card. It's shocking. What this tells me is your celebrity will never be the same again. I can see if you was like Kanye West or, somebody of a huge, stature, but you're not even that big to be talking the way you talking. You act like you freaking with Lil Kim and Maya and all of them. You let that reality show get to your head. You ain't that big, B. Simone. You should be privileged that you got the honor to be with those legendary people. But you're not a legend. Or are you? I feel like you got time to redeem yourself. But when I get the Tower card, it's telling me your career could never be the same. Let's read on the Tower card for a minute. Let's read on that. Could be an offer that got turned down, that turned you down, is why you're going through what you're going through. So I'm going to give you some advice in the situation, all right? The appearance of the Tower card, let me hold it up. The appearance of the Tower card in a spread often hurdles shift, shocking, and dramatic changes. The usual structure of your life begins to crumble, and you must deal with the collapse of the old way of life. You may find yourself suddenly selling your home, moving to a new residence, changing jobs, pursuing new career, entering psychotherapy, or significant altering important relationships. The point of such change is to help you learn the important truth about yourself and act accordingly. The uphill associated with this card involves a moment of truth that forces you to rid yourself of false life structures and identify what truly values. The more enriched you are in the phony lifestyle, the more disrupted this change will be. Now is the time to rid yourself of binding social conventions and false beliefs that hinder your growth. The structure imprisoning you must be shattered before you can achieve enlightenment. Occasionally, this card pretends a theft, job loss, family quarrel, or trouble with property. The old order must dissolve to make way for the new. Unsound structures will come tumbling down. This is why you got the Tower card, B. Simone. Now let me tell you, for all of you out there who are stuck in the old ways, like the old days music, like R. Kelly, like all that old stuff, let me tell you something. If you don't change, the world will change for you. And you're going to be left behind. Welcome to the new world order. Get into it. When is this all going to happen for you, B. Simone? When are we all going to start seeing the shift in your life? Within 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months, could be 9 years. You be going through this. Uranus Taurus. Let me pull some more cards to see what else is going on in her life. She's going to need a helping hand. There's going to be a turning point. It's going to make her feel depressed. I get it's going to be a change for the better when it comes to family, but you're going to end up feeling down and out. I feel like you're going to probably end up being in the movie, B. Simone. I see you being in some type of movie. I think you should do acting. You'll be good in that. I see a movie role coming for you. Maybe Tyler Perry put you in a movie. There's going to be a lot of negative energy coming your way, B. Simone. Something you've done in the past probably is going to come back to haunt you. But I see some, I feel like your reputation is going to be tarnished a little bit. But you're going to stand up for yourself. No matter what. You're a strong girl. You got this. I get there's something about you're going to be too much of a good thing, but time will tell. I feel like you're going to be collaborating with something, probably 3 women. And whoever these 3 women are you're going to collaborate with, and I feel like they're women from the past, you're going to maintain. But that's what I have for you, B. Simone. Alright? Remember, guys, if you're new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell for all notifications. I gotta get out of here, guys. I can't be here too long. But let me read her final outcome card. Let me see what the final outcome is going to say for B. Simone. What is the final outcome for B. Simone Spirit? Telling y'all, them Christians be the main ones. They be the main ones. Okay. Upright. I get teacher, but I get the positive position. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. That's you, B. Simone. You're a teacher. You just need to use it right. That's what you're supposed to be. Because, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When I be watching her, she, at points, when she be talking about certain things, she be on point, y'all. I gotta admit. But then she go left. And I be like, what the hell, girl? Get back on track. So that person who told me She's being called. Yeah, she's being called. She's definitely being called. I hope she know that. Teacher. Communicates knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. May manifest through parental guidance and business of the arts, or by inspired instructions in ethics or kindness. Ask yourself if others look to you as a teacher in any situation to impact the riches of your experience or to show them the ropes. I feel like that's what B. Simone is trying to do, but she's kind of doing it the wrong way. Anybody who knows, send this video to her. Send this video to B. Simone. She know who I am. She know I be talking about her. I'm gonna read you an angel card, B. Simone. Okay, because I care. I care about you. You know, because if I'm not talking about you, that means I don't care about you. But I care about you. So there's some good guys out there, B. Simone. I just want to let you know we ain't all the same. Spirit, talk to me about B. Simone. What angels? What do you want her to know? Angels. What do you want B. Simone to know? And I'm gonna need you to tap back into spirituality and stop dragging us. Do the work. Do the work, B. Simone, is what the angels are telling you. Do the work. If you're wondering whether to move forward or not, this card is a message from your angels to continue on. You might feel your current situation requires more time and energy than you are able to give. And there's a good chance that you're feeling disheartened or even drained. It's important to know that everything involved in this situation is pivotal to your growth, expansion, and spiritual connection. This card invites you to switch on the light you have within. It's time to be a star, to rise up, to get behind the wheel, and to drive the journey of your life. Yes, energy is going to be needed to hustle and push, but every single effort you make will pay off. Right now, you are sending out a signal, and that will create a wave that can lay the foundation for the rest of your life. Being spiritual isn't always easy. It comes with a price, and often that price is time and effort. That's why angels call it light work, because we have to work our light. This isn't spiritual easy. This isn't spiritual vacation. This is spiritual work. And that does mean we have to work. Action, effort, surrender, and trust are needed for things to come together. But when this card appears, you have an important opportunity to figure out the balance between effort and effortless, and understand when both of these energies need to move through your being. If you want to abandon a project or walk away from a situation, this card is letting you know that you are needed more than ever. This isn't a time to run away. This is a time to turn up. When you show up ready and willing to do the work, you will move up too. If I can leave you with that. You got this, B. Simone. You got it. Let me tell you something. When God gives you something, nobody can take that from you. Nobody. So ignore the noise around you and focus on you, mama. Focus on you. You got this. And quit thinking about what people think about you and where you shop. Then you talking about a man? Girl, it don't matter. If that man did work a 9-to-5 job, at least you be the center of attention. But I feel you though. I feel you. I understand, because I wouldn't want to, if I was that famous, I wouldn't want nobody to be 9-to-5 either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But be understanding too. Because I'm not like for it, but I would at least be understanding. What does this person feed me spiritually? not physically, spiritually. Do the work. Peace, love. That's all I got to say for today. But anyways, I love you all. Y'all take care. I hope y'all took some notes because that was very enlightening. This was a good video. I like this. But I will see y'all guys soon. Get ready for live readings. And I love you. Peace, love. Later. God bless. God bless.